know of a murderer, a meticulous mass murderer. He has never been suspected. Can you bring God to court, being the architect of the murder? I tried but could not find out who you were. Yet there was one way of getting to you. Helping you get to me.
public life in disarray. Psychologists confirm the despairing effect the weather has had on the general mood of the nation. The Department of Science and Technology said
What was that?
measures have been spared to restore the networks across the nation. Amid the hopelessness of the
A little gadget of mine.
switched off from the virtual world. Some story from the efficient
It can play two frequencies at the same time.
Are you a scientist?
No. What do you study?
Physics. I intend to make some of the stuff in here for real. And you?
I'm a nobody. Just trying to tell a tale these days.
Are you a writer?
I studied to be an engineer.
An engineer with an archaic transistor radio with an 8 trick. Are we in the 70s?
What's your name?
Naz.
Naz. I'm Azad. T.
I'm glad I have company tonight. Mostly it doesn't really matter.
Jules Verne and you get along fine.
So, what kind of an author are you?
Too early to call me that. Just have a few tales in my head.
I'm constantly inventing stories as well. In fact, when you went out, forget it, nothing.
You tinkered with my umbrella, didn't you?
I'm sorry, you just appeared out of nowhere with no luggage, just an umbrella. I was searching for hidden pockets.
You found one?
It actually kind of disappointed me, but your radio made up for it.
No, I think you like my story.
Are you writing one?
You want to hear it? Just tell it to someone.
Does it start with Once Upon a Time?
Does it matter?
Just don't write like that anymore.
Once upon a time. Once upon a time. There was a writer. A rather famous one.
Dr. Ginny. Dr. Ginny, this will end in murder if you hang up. It will end in a murder if you don't. But you could save an innocent life. I intend to perform a unique experiment. I have a notion it has never been done before. Ah, Ginny. As precise with appointments as a dog should be. I had a hunch you'd turn up on time. Come on, come in.
I know your dirty tricks only too well, Mr. Tusker, the great showman. Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, the mechanics of writing. Of course, you can break all the rules and have a story. But life follows no such rules, Mr. Tusker.
A story?
You call that a story? A story with me in it? A dirty trick, Mr. Tusker. I find it utterly distasteful that you should call the character Dr. Ginny.
I assure you it was only to get you involved, to engage you. The character, of course, will have a different name.
I wish you hadn't taken the liberty. Am I the only doctor in town?
Yet you are well nigh the authority on genetics in the country.
Genetics? Mr. Tusker, I specialize in diabetes. I do study DNA, but that's more to cure diabetes. I do not and cannot use it to design babies.
Yet you can hold an academic discussion on the subject. Here I have an article that you wrote for a daily.
Is it the article that brings me here?
It is not hard to imagine a virtual gene mall where people shop for DNA, and the ideal baby is just a click away.
I condemn the philosophy of eugenics if you carefully read.
But you'd agree the idea is fascinating, at least academically.
No wonder it finds place in your book.
Like you wrote, you simply shop for genes. Mommy and Daddy visit a store and say, I want a baby who can swim like a fish and have a nose like Holmes.
I condemned it, Mr. Tusker.
Doctor, is it medically possible? I hear it's been possible for years. We are well into the 21st century.
What do you want to know? What do you know, Mr. Tusker?
I know I made the right choice. You are the one for the job. You can bring the act to a conclusion. Someone has to take the blame. Will it be the mother? I will argue the case against her. Will you be kind enough to play the part?
Do you always stray so close to the limits of civility?
Oh, come on. For argument's sake. For a healthy mental exercise. We go back to the story. Our hero, our anti-hero. I don't know how you look at him, Aleph. He's brought to life by his mother in a test tube.
I wouldn't call the doctor his mother, Mr. Tusker.
That's a sport. Well begun.
Shall we play this as Holmes and Watson what?
Now who's playing Holmes here?
That privilege, unfortunately, is yours since you have the details of the story.
Let Holmes present an exhibit from classified government files. Chapter 1. Breeding.
For now, just give me a brief, Holmes.
About 25 years ago, the government began a covert operation, codenamed Aleph.
Wasn't that the name of the hero in Tusker's story?
I'm impressed by your alertness, Watson.
So then, Ginny knew about the operation.
More than that.
You're right, she was more than jittery. What was Operation Aleph?
A government exercise to make special recruits.
Make recruits?
Soldiers with immense physical strength and intelligence.
One of those designer babies that Tusker's book described.
More than that.
No wonder you don't carry a bag. What are these?
Ginny was a part of the breeding program. She was one of the mothers and she designed a baby.
Why wouldn't you consider the doctor Elif's mother? This is of central importance.
In my opinion, she's a scientist who, for the sake of experiment, genetically engineers an embryo in order to design a baby with certain specifications.
That is as mechanical as one can make it sound.
It's an experiment.
In which she gives birth to a human being.
In a test tube with a randomly selected egg and a sperm.
Carefully selected for the best genes.
Of no relation to her.
You're a mother too, Doctor. The mother looks after the child.
Monitors the outcome of the experiment, just as one would a biochemical procedure.
And then gives him away.
Before the memory of the child is sufficiently developed.
The child is not ordinary. He has superior genes.
This might serve as a wonderful plot device for you and your novel, Mr. Tusker, but it's not true in real life.
Then you absolve this mother of all charges?
God, I feel like I'm on trial.
You're doing a fantastic job, Doctor. A fantastic job.
Can you not stop the pretense? Can I have a cigarette?
You can have the biggest cigar in the world if that will calm you. It's so bizarre that all the doctors I know smoke.
I'm human first. And that's what I ask of you. To shun your showmanship.
Finish your cigarette, and I'll wait for you to get some oxygen back into your lungs. Tea is the lesser poison that soothes just as much. Let me know when we can resume our debate. My little experiment.
This is it, Mr. Tusker. I wish you hadn't written the book. I'm thankful that you showed it to me, but now that you have, I would not like you to publish it.
I don't understand.
I have no alternative but to be direct with you.
Sorry for not sympathizing with you at the moment. On the contrary, I am elated with the impression the story has left upon you.
Don't call it a story, you insensitive... Surely you know more. You wouldn't give the character my name in the story and then paint her in such a negative light.
I'm sorry this has taxed your nerves. Rest assured that the character bears a different name.
What about Aleph?
What about him?
Why would you give the central character in the story the name Aleph? Is that a coincidence too? Am I not the only one invited this evening, Mr. Tusker?
I chose a couple of people who would react to the characters in the book most appropriately. Because of their similarity in vocation. I left the story for them, for you, to take forward.
Oh, stop being flippant. What are you up to?
You will soon realize, I assure you, nothing sinister. For the moment, please accompany me to my living room. Come. Please wait upstairs while I interview the next expert.
The next expert? Does he or she know who I am?
The whole town knows you. But don't worry, I shall introduce you as my doctor.
You better know what you're doing, Mr. Tusker. You had better.
So she created this perfect baby and then... what? She gave it to whom and for what?
For what, she would never be told. She was to take care of his life for 5 years and clear him of all medical irregularities. He was a normal boy and was given to an orphanage. All the while being shifted from one to another. All the while his life being monitored. His progress noted. All the while being naturally prepared for a broader purpose. All the while shifting homes to minimize the chance of attachment.
What purpose?
You don't know yet.
Of course. So then what about Tusker? What does he want? Does he want to bring Ginny to justice?
At the moment, he wants her to conclude the third act. He wants her opinion. If she thinks that the hero's creator is responsible for his fate.
Of course she is.
She feels it was an experiment.
An experiment. She breathes life into someone. That life can't be treated like a machine.
Aren't we all machines, Naz? Trained by our parents, our teachers, our society to perform a specific set of functions.
It's like you spoke my words. Anyway, selection of genes is like extreme parenting. Parents mold their children into exactly what they want, fitting a role in society. I've always felt that. They tried to make me into someone I never was. Will such a parent be responsible for the action of his child in society? Yes, sir. I know it's none of your business. Probably not mine to tell you this, but I fought at home and came today. Usually father sends a chaperone. Today I insisted on being alone.
Can't I be your father's spy?
You don't look like one. He was wondering if he should start looking for a groom for me. I'm in the final year of my college.
That's not too old at all.
You get out of college and suddenly you're not a child anymore. It's like you step out of that gate and something terrible starts happening, like you stop to dream. I don't wish to find out.
You'll make it, Naz.
I study physics because I believe that there's something out of the ordinary out there. There has to be a chapter somewhere, hidden in between. I'm boring you to tears, am I not? That too in the middle of your murder mystery, huh? It was you who started it, though. About the conspiracy of society and all of that. Where were we?
Do you hold the mother responsible?
She deserves blame. Not only for designing the child's personality, but for abandoning the child. Guilty, Holmes, guilty.
Let's get on with the story then, Woods.
Bring me the next protagonist.
Professor Cody, the whiz kid. Please sit down. I've been keen to meet you ever since I learned of your academic work.
My pleasure, Mr. Tusker. Although for a change you don't find a fan here, yet it's a pleasure.
So you didn't like my book, Professor?
I usually don't prefer the books I enjoy. Books I only read to provoke my thoughts.
I'm sorry for not being that kind of writer.
And you've planned quite a gimmick. I only hope you're not that honest in trusting some other people with your climax.
Oh, but your verdict is invaluable for me.
You know, it came as a shock. You're so much familiar with my work, my research.
I think it's fair to say that had there been no Professor Code, there wouldn't have been this book. Although I didn't know you personally, your research truly inspired the character of the young genius.
Which you conveniently named Code.
I've learned I shouldn't have gone that far. I only changed the name in the manuscript. In the book, I assure you it's different.
That I will guarantee.
I apologize again. You know, I won't mind a cup. Tea for you, sir?
My mind doesn't need stimulants.
I'm sure.
So, what is it about my research that interests you?
Oh, the unique combination of software engineering and psychology. That is some merit.
Will you care to explain it to me?
Explain?
Yeah, my work, what you like about it, brain simulation.
Explain.
Are you nervous? Have you tea? Don't be nervous, Mr. Tusker. I do that all the time with my students. Helps them grab the concepts firmly.
All right, sir. I picked up your book and was interested by a particular diagram in it. If we remove the brain from a man's body and put it in a solution, and then we hook it up to a computer. The computer then sends out impulses to the brain. Like for example, the legs send to the brain while we walk. And now the brain in the tank, detached from the body, feels like it is walking.
And how is this different from a dream?
Dreams. What separates dreams from reality?
Logic.
Abruptness. You remove the abruptness and dreams would play havoc with your life.
You won't know what's real.
Come out of it, Naz.
What's Tusker up to? Quite a funny night he's having if he's truly unaware. But hang on, what's the charge against Professor Code?
If Ginny was the mother, and Code was the teacher of her life.
Go on.
Chapter 2. Mentoring. Code's genius lay in removing this very abruptness. It lay in creating worlds within his subject's world seamlessly.
So he got into Alef's head and trained him in what? Warfare? But how did he manage to plug him in so often?
He was taken for routine medical checkups right from his birth.
For?
Some medical pretext.
Never once did he spot fakery in the dream world.
That was Code's expertise. The joining of the two worlds.
Genius.
I only made him realize his genius.
Ah, Professor. And my brain cells have yearned for such a dose of inspiration all my life.
You will get it, Mr. Tusker. I would have offered you without your asking. But so far, you've done pretty well without. Your brain has relied on more authentic sources. At least here. But this book?
Well, like I said, had there been no Dr. Cody, there would have been no book.
You really think I did it, Mr. Tusker?
What?
I'll tell you. First, in a way, you'll like to hear it. However, if you do not understand, I'll use more direct methods.
Have I offended you in any way, Professor?
That'll be clear in a moment. Have a seat. Calm yourself. We will reverse our rules. I'll tell you a story this time. Once upon a time, there was a writer. A very influential one. Just like you. His words had power beyond imagination. Not only could his words tickle, tease, and torture, they could bring characters to life. Has any of your characters walked out from the book and roamed the world?
I don't know what you mean.
Can your words ever be this powerful?
My readers think so. I have a large following.
I have no doubt. But treat my question literally, Mr. Tusker. Do you believe what you write could come true? Do you have that power?
I only invite you here for a healthy discussion about the fate of the characters of my book.
I am discussing the fate of one of them, all right? Do you believe what you write could come true?
No.
I think so too. Your ability, however phenomenal, just doesn't go that far. Yet, the events you describe in your book bear exceptional resemblance to some real ones. Is a book fictional? Your imagination?
Yes.
Not a historical account.
No, sir.
So that's the story.
A left story begins now. It begins on a station like this, where he fell in love and broke free from his mechanical life. He had graduated and was looking for a job when he found a girl at a station. He didn't take the train that would take him to the interview, where a job had been prearranged. Instead, he took the girl's train. For the next month, every morning, every evening, he saw her go to college and come back, without gathering the courage to confront her. Falling in love like only he who had been kept away from it can. And then he had an accident. He was hit by a car, just well enough to be taken to a hospital but survived. He woke up, only been rescued by the girl he loved.
Did they fall in love? Why am I asking that? I hate cliches. Don't spoil it, Azad.
They did. They did. That's the only thing the boy was left with. They were about to get married when the girl lost her life.
Like that?
She was killed. That's how life pans out. Wrong place, wrong time, saw something she shouldn't have and was done away with.
What happened to her life?
He was supposed to avenge her death. Kill those who took away the only thing he'd ever loved when.
When?
When he woke up.
Woke up?
Woke up with his brain wired to a computer. Imagine his relief. How could you even call it relief? On the chair beside him was Wyatt, the girl he'd loved. The girl who was killed. He mustered all his will and kept the computer at bay. He looked around and searched for a memento and grabbed some papers on the table next to him.
But why was the girl plugged into the system?
It's not easy to simulate love.
But wasn't she killed in the simulation? What did that do to her?
It must have been abrupt for her, like in dreams.
Would she remember the boy?
Maybe not. Not long after he found the papers in his wallet. The first was a pamphlet advertising Code's lab. The other was the girl's college ID card. He had to establish what was real and what was simulated. And from how far back. Had he even met her ever?
Had he?
That hardly mattered. She was alive.
What was his mission?
Who cares? He had to eliminate the people who killed her.
All his life for this.
He gained access to his files. He also found what no other person knew. A creation left from its start till its end.
He shouldn't have. What would he be left with?
If you keep lying, Mr. Tusker, as I said, I'll have to use more direct methods.
Don't threaten me, Professor.
I'm only proposing you to grant you your wish. Your brain cells crave for a dose of my codes.
This is ridiculous. I'm having a bizarre evening. I can't understand anything you say.
All right. What do you know about Operation Aleph?
It's a figment of my imagination.
It is not. This is as direct as I can be. Whatever he wrote, more or less happened.
I'll be damned. Then you too want it not to be published?
No. I want something more. For your safety. I want you to accompany me to my lab.
Why, may I ask?
Of course. To run a few psychiatric codes. Let me see how much you know.
Huh. That's a despicable joke, Professor. I think you should go. You may leave. Perhaps you forget there's my doctor outside.
Accompany me quietly, and then there'll be no need of this. I can't believe this. You know everything, yet you are a fool enough to have a party going on here.
Why don't you shoot? Let me go and open the door for the visitor who has disturbed our peace. Whoever it is knows nothing.
I shall keep an eye on you. Huh? Come along.
Good evening, Mr. Tusker.
Good evening.
Don't be bothered by this. You'll find a fan here. Huge fan.
Of all the confounded evenings.
Can I come in?
With pleasure, please. Meet my dear friend, the eccentric genius, Professor Code, Professor, Officer
Dharma. Hi. He was computer engineer.
Do you know each other, Officer?
Well, can't claim to know any of you yet. I know all of you. Being in the profession I am.
What brings you here, if I may ask, Officer, to a poor writer's abode?
Your work, Mr. Tusker. Your tremendous work. I'm here as a fan, as I told you. A big, big fan. We shall sit and discuss it.
Do they keep up with my work at the police station, Officer Dharma?
Well, I look after a special cell, Professor. And I'm constantly on the lookout for minds like yours.
I've had the pleasure of working with some of your friends at the Intelligence Bureau myself.
We'll have something to talk about then.
Would you like to light your cigarette, Officer?
Oh no, cigarette smoking is injurious to health.
Doctor? I have another very special guest here, the lovely Dr. Ginny. Doctor, this is Officer Dharma and Professor Code, and I'm sure you know about her too. Officer Dharma is from the Intelligence Bureau.
And has never felt less intelligent in his whole life. With famous scientist and a writer for a company. Will you wait here for a while before we join you for a delicious meal? In the meanwhile, I'll have a small conversation with Mr. Tusker. Shall we?
I'll be back in a bit.
Have a seat. Are you alright? So, what is the matter with the author?
Just a regular checkup.
You found anything wrong?
Not particularly.
Well, there you may be wrong. Anyway, we should make ourselves familiar while we wait for the dinner. It is really time for action though. You like the book?
Sorry, book?
The one you are here for, the one I am here for.
The swine. He told you, didn't he?
No. That swine's a thorough gentleman. But I know psychology, and I can hear a quiver in your voice.
What does he want? What do you want?
You're not his doctor. That was clear the moment I saw you. You are here to help him with the book's climax. Should the doctor be murdered or not? But that doesn't justify your nerves. I shall take it a step further. Do you suspect he knows about you?
Well, he talked. Don't pretend.
Don't be stupid. Don't you see who I am? Maybe I guess he's changed my name in the manuscript he sent you. Like he changed yours and mine? See, we do not have time. We are all part of the same operation.
This cannot be one of his confidence tricks. How do I know that the two of you are not setting me up?
Well, in our situation, none of us can be. The only thing I can do to assure you is to confess my role in Operation Aleph. I am the brain programmer.
We are not supposed to meet or even know each other. That's the one thing that the operation guaranteed us. Anonymity.
But somehow he knows and has to be shushed.
There is a police officer downstairs. I shudder to think what they must be discussing.
We really can't murder both of them, can we? You gave birth to Aleph?
Not again.
What is there to hide? We both have read the book. We know what rather who connects us. You brought him to life. And Aleph? He was a marvel.
Stop sounding like Tusker. He was born in a test tube. I only engineered his genes just for the love of research.
And money.
How did Tusker find out? I mean, not even the officials who sanctioned the operation had the complete picture. Tell me, where is Aleph?
I don't know. My job was over once I released him into the world for his mission. Like yours. Once you bred and brought him up.
Did you really make him fall in love? I mean, could you have? That would be some scientific triumph.
He was already in love with the girl when they tracked him down. So it was necessary to plan the accident. It wasn't my idea to bring them together.
But that was terrible.
No more than abandoning him when he was 5.
Who do we get in touch with in case any of this comes out?
The orders, the money was always anonymous. I met no one.
Help me, Professor. Help us. What are you up to?
I'll go have a look.
I can't bear this. I want to leave this place.
Do we have the choice?
The day started with the promise of a unique soiree. I couldn't myself have written such an ending to it. I concede there's been a mistake, officer. Will you give me a moment, please? I shall join you a little while in the living room.
Sure.
Keep your mouth shut and move along.
I had a hunch this would happen. Is it a pistol?
No.
Can we wait here for a while?
Do not force the issue, officer. Just move. Go.
The world would be an easier place if we stuck to our roles. Let the officers teach and polish.
Hello, Sava Hotel. Could I speak to Mr. J.K. Ray, please? I'm sorry, I've lost his room number. Yeah, that'd be very nice of you. Thank you. What do you mean you can't find him? He may be in some restaurant. But I met him there yesterday. What do you mean he hasn't checked in? What? Are you sure? Thank you.
Go. Get your friend. Time for a closing climax.
Now that offers some relief on a trying night. You must excuse Dr. Ginny, officer. She really means no harm.
Oh, she's a lady. Perfect lady. Though I would like to know what she has got in her bag. She ought to have brought something to give herself a chance.
I got money. Enough for the two of you. How much do you want?
You seriously think you can buy your way out? That's smart. Nice, nice.
I couldn't stoop to think of ending a life.
Yet you could bring one to life and then dispose it of without even a care in the world.
Look who's talking.
Hey, don't just stand there and snort. Go on, fight it out. Mr. Tusker, aren't you loving it? This is the climax you wanted. Both of them bickering over who is to be blamed.
I'm glad you turned up, officer. Bang on time. This could have turned very nasty.
Nastier the better. Head them on. Let them struggle and choose one between themselves. What has come over you? Don't be a spoilsport. Put on a show.
I have lost interest in the story, officer.
Nah. This is no time to back out.
I've decided not to publish my book. The events have panned out way beyond my imagination. It's taken a severe toll on me. You might say I've got more than what I'd bargained for. You can let them go, officer.
Let them go? When everything is set for a perfect climax, let them go. You cannot publish the book. True. Only because it is not over yet. One of them must go, Mr. Tusker.
I told you, we won't be spared.
Talk some sense, officer. He has given a way out. We must pledge to forget all this. That's it. Yeah? All right.
Can you trust him, Tusker?
He wants money. How much?
I can excuse a lady for her faint heart, but you? You can handle it better, Professor. Come on, you two are acting like petty criminals Tusker made of you. Let us resort to sense. How can you trust each other? How?
What do you mean?
My dear Tusker, do you realize what you have done? You have uncovered a very dangerous truth. They'll be back for you. Professor, do you seriously think that he's alone in this? Who told him the story?
I have a hint. You.
Me. Me. In that case, it is us against you. Either Tusker and me should be snuffed out, or you both. 2 against 2. Let's keep it fair then. Come on. Take it. It's yours.
What on earth are you up to?
This will end in murder, you wrote, and it shall.
He's a madman. I don't know him. He didn't tell me a thing. I don't even know how he got here.
Be careful who you side with, Tusker.
You will get us all killed, Dharma.
How's he here? Who told you about the operation?
Aleph. Who else could have? Where is Aleph?
I'm glad you have calmed down, lady.
Don't you see, Professor? He must know about Aleph. Where is Aleph?
Honestly, I had a hunch I'll find him here.
Who are you, officer?
What's your game, officer? What do you want?
Ever since Aleph disappeared, we kept a tab on you two, Doctor, Professor. And when you both were invited here to the same place, it really got interesting. But who should invite you? Mr. Priest Tusker, the famous writer. What had he got to do with it? Come on, Tusker. Tell them.
Is this a joke? Tell them what?
Come on. We have revealed our true selves. Be fair.
We still don't know you, officer.
Come on, Tusker. Whom did you call when I left your room? Who told you the story? Mr. Priest Tusker, the multiple award-winning novelist, is the nation's most famous voice and a fraud.
Careful, officer. Don't push it.
1, 2, 3, 4. No. No, sir, no. There is a fifth person involved. Who told you the story? And why did he tell you the story? The first answer is obvious. He met Elif, and he was right.
I met a Mr. J.K. Ray at the Savoy Hotel.
Never mind the name.
This is preposterous. I'll be damned if this is not a dream.
You'll soon be sure. And the second question aroused my investigative instincts. Why did Elif tell you the story? And I did a little background check.
What the hell are you doing?
And it turned out that our friend here isn't much of a writer himself. He's just a petty thief. There were allegations before, but this sealed it. He didn't write the book. He never writes a book. He steals it. He's a plagiarist and is an ideal accessory and an unknowing accomplice to bring the facts out in the open.
Ginny is right after all, huh? You really do want money, don't you, officer? Surely you can do better than stoop to becoming a two-bit blackmailer.
Where is Aleph?
I don't know your Aleph. I have no idea where he is.
Stop lying.
Here. Here you can trust him, lady. He did make a call and turned out that he has been tricked.
You are on a gunpoint, Tusker. Why didn't you confess you didn't write the story?
Honor before life, Professor. Thief he may be, but a dignified one.
I didn't steal it. I purchased it.
Oh, that's dignified.
All right. So where does that leave us, officer? Cody, Ginny, and I are all criminals, and you? How about you? What do you want?
Sure. If you're in a hurry. Is that a license gun in your hand?
Yet, I won't hesitate using it.
Oh, no, nonsense. We mustn't risk that. We'll use this poor substitute in my position then. Unless Dr. Ginny has headed to her medical instincts and brought along an exceptional scalpel or poison or... I wish you had. It would have added a dimension to it. Now save yourself the trouble of juggling that in your hand.
And why will I do that, sir?
Because so far you have done everything outlined by me.
Who is he, Azad?
The architect.
The architect. The architect, of course.
Where are you lost?
I created the setup. I created LF through you, Doctor, and through you, Professor. And now when things have gone wrong, I must take responsibility and clean it up.
But no one was supposed to know the complete picture.
The society needs a teacher. It needs a creator. But who creates the creator?
Where is Aleph, officer?
Doctor, first things first. He cannot escape.
This will end in murder. Quite a title. Look, Jessica. Look who you have here. Characters from your book, alive in flesh and blood, craving for each other's blood. One of them must go for the climax. Would you mind another one? Consider this. What if the characters don't want to die? What if they revolt against their own creator? What if?
Let's keep our heads. Let's resort to reason. Let us be reasonable. The book has been read by only the two of you. I am truly very sorry for the distress I have caused. It will not be published. I will burn the manuscript here and now.
First you write another one. Get back to writing. Get back.
Please, allow me to speak.
Time. Dear fans, I'm sorry for deceiving you for all these years. All my life, I have been, what's the word? Incorrigible bastard. The stories I have told you have all been stolen. I have lived under the fear of it coming out all my life. But my nerves can take it no more. This plagiarist deserves only one fate. Full stop. Death. Time.
How was I to know? How was I to know that this story was for real? There must be another way out.
You know too much.
I don't know who he was. I don't even know where he is.
Now that you have lost him, you are of no use to us.
Wake up. This is just a nightmare. Wake up. He's out there in the open. He will tell the truth to someone else.
Don't you worry about that.
I'll do anything. I'll do anything to help you get to him. Anything.
That'll be it, Naz.
Where are you off to?
Didn't you hear the announcement? My train arrives in a few minutes.
What happens next, Azad?
Your guess is as good as mine. I'm not done with the story yet.
Say that again.
What happened?
Deja vu. I feel like I've been here before.
But you have. This is your station.
No, I mean, we've been here before. Talking here in the waiting room.
Have you ever thought that there might be something more to deja vu?
Perhaps I wish. Maybe they're fragments of our dreams.
Dreams. What separates dreams from reality?
Abruptness?
Nothing.
My deja vus have never lasted this long, Azad. Have we met before?
I hope you like my story, Naz. Hope to see you.
Did you both follow Tusker's advice and come here without telling anyone?
Hello, police station? I was passing by and I heard a shot. Yes, 355 by 15. A gunshot, yes. First floor. Thank you.
Don't!
How does it matter?
I know of a murderer. A meticulous mass murderer. He has never been suspected. You remember the lines, officer? Can you bring God to God, being the architect of the murder? Tusker didn't write them. They are not mine either. They are yours. I tried but could not find out who you were. Yet there was one way of getting to you. Helping you get to me. Like a dog on a scent you got here. I'm glad you could make it on time. You played God all right. It was a fine setup. For once, I wanted to reverse it.
Let me explain the mechanics. The wheels and pulleys that advance a story. Act 1, where the characters are introduced, the conflict of the story is discovered, and the premise established. I intend to perform a unique experiment. I have a notion which has never been done before. Act 2, where the obstacles before the main character are revealed, where he reaches his lowest point.
I wish you hadn't written a book.
But treat my question literally, Mr. Tusker. Do you believe what you write could come true?
Act 3, the climax, the denouement, the resolution, the end.
Good evening, Mr. Tusker. Don't be bothered by this. You'll find a fan here. Tusker. Look who you have here. Characters from your book, alive in flesh. Who are you? You cannot publish the book. Only because it is not over yet.
What's your name?
Naz.
I'm Azad. I think you like my story.
Does it start with once upon a time?
Once upon a time. There was a writer. A rather famous one.
This will end in murder.
What are you doing?
Time?